I feel like there's one less like thing hanging on you. You can just kind of go do it now because you have the DK brand behind you. And I know you're not comparing yourself to Pat McAfee, but the thing about it is you two have one big thing in common, and you have the players' trust. And I think of the clip of you in Dallas talking to Christian Yelich.
Hmm.
And Yelich looked like he was a kid in a candy store. He was brightening up, talking to y'all, saying, oh, you're not members of the media, but you still get info about him and you put it out there. And that means we can grab it and use it. How do you develop that trust between the players? Because, you're still on Nesson. That's still a reportery type of vibe. You know how reporters are. How do you find that balance between creating content and developing the trust of the players?
It took a long time. It took a long time. Like that was, that was one of the things that they haven't replaced me really at Barstool. There's no Red Sox guy there. If there was, I need people to know that that guy would not be given the same access that I have just because he works for Barstool.
Hmm.
I worked my ass off for that years. Like I have emails from 2010 emailing Sam Kennedy being like, "Hey, can I have press passes?" And Sam was awesome. He was like, "I can't do that, but I'll give you tickets to any 10 games that you want. Just pick them out and then we'll leave you the tickets." And I was like, "Awesome, cool." Like that was like their first time giving me access, was giving me standing room tickets to 10 games in
Hmm.
2010. And then Dallas was pretty instrumental in that as well, because in 2018, that's when I went to Oakland for the first time, and we had press passes. So I was on the field
And
when
you loved it. You loved
I
it.
loved it.
Yeah,
I did love it. I did love it. Sean Manaea threw his no hitter, and I was on the field post game,
love that.
and it just kind of clicked in my brain. And I went back to the Red Sox, and I was like, why will the Oakland A's give me field passes, but you guys won't? I was like, I'm a Red Sox guy. I basically, I more or less said, there's not a person in that press box that you give a press pass to that has a bigger Red Sox audience than I do. It's like, let's call a spade here.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, well, like let's kind of like sort everything out. I was like, I don't want to go in the press box. I don't want to go in the clubhouse. I don't want to go in the media room. I just want to go to batting practice. Like, let me be in the dugout. Let me be on the field when they take batting practice. Like, I don't want to be in their personal space, but I want to be able to like have these conversations with them when there's not fans around, so stuff like that. So I think I earned over time. It still took time. Even it wasn't like day one, I got the press pass and earned the respect. But Dallas was instrumental in that way. And then Alex Cora. So I had developed a relationship with Alex Cora a little bit through Twitter before he was hired as Red Sox manager, because I used to tweet about like Rusney Castillo, and I was like, this guy sucks. And I think Cora managed him in some winter league. So like we would go back and forth about Rusney Castillo on Twitter, and then we followed each other, and then we DM'd each other, and then he gave me his number. So I had like a contact with him before he got hired. And then when he got hired, it was like, oh, okay, all right, let's go. Like,
Perfect.
let's do
Yeah.
this. So I think part of it was if Cora's boys with him, then why can't I be? Like, all right, I think we
Hmm.
can trust him. And then when JD Martinez got signed, so we kind of became buddy during the courting process of his free agency. Like I was making videos and they were putting them on like the Barstool Instagram, and then we would see that he was responding to them in the DMs. So I went from talking about him to talking to him
Right.
on the camera. So then he ends up signing in Boston. We become friends. And then I met them in person for the first time when I was on the field in Oakland.
Yeah.
Met JD for the first time in person. Met Alex Cora for the first time. So if you're the best hitter on the team and you're the manager of the team, and those two guys are like, we like this guy, then it slowly became, I had to convince some of the players that were there, that had been there, that were like, we're iffy about this guy.
Hmm.
Guys that were there in 2015 when they were in last place and I had a lot of bad things to say. Now I had to win them over because they were like, I don't know. Like, I know that you guys are cool with him, but I remember him as the guy saying that I suck.
Yeah.
So I think pivotal one was flipping Joe Kelly. Like Joe Kelly did not like me. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you have every reason to not like me. I said some not nice things when you were not good in 2014, 2015. But then like Joe and I now we're like great friends, but I kind of like became more cognizant of that over time because the one thing I didn't realize was, all right, there's this one player on the team. He's not good. You're picking on him. You don't know. Like that guy might be the most popular guy in the clubhouse. Like everyone might love that guy. He might not be good at baseball, but he's the guy that when they have team cookouts, they go to that guy's house. So if you say something bad about him, now you're pissing off
Right.
25 other guys. In my case, that was Clay Buchholz. So I was very mean to Clay Buchholz, and he's a very popular guy in the clubhouse. So
Yeah.
these are all things I'm learning over time.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think, you know, I feel like I protect the players and they know that. Like there's definitely things that will come across my dash that never sees the light of day. I don't stoke the flames of drama. Like most recently, like Jaron Duran after a game,
Yeah.
he got asked about, like what's the biggest difference? And everyone's, oh, he's throwing shade at the clubhouse from last year and blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, he's complimenting the guys in this year's clubhouse. Like you're making it seem like he's talking bad about the guys from last year. So you just kind of like talk through things instead of being like, oh, I don't know. I have it on good authority that he hates JD Martinez.
Yeah.
So I think guys like appreciate when you have their back because they can't just take to Twitter and defend themselves. Like they need someone to get the story straight. And more often than not, like I tried to be that guy.
You want to be an extension of them to a certain aspect, and I know a lot of players do that when they go from being a player to going to broadcasting. Like Dallas does a really good job of that, of course, and Michael Morse has done that in the past. So it's a lot of responsibility for you, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, I enjoy doing it because it's never not truthful. Like I'm
Mhm.
never like making up lies to protect guys. It's always just like, hey, I think, like I saw you had that report the other day. Like that's just simply not true. And then they're like, well, how do you know? I'm like, I know.
Like, come on.
Just trust me
Yeah.
on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trust me on this one.
Yeah.